Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Piggy on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you, a little rundown of the day's news, latest reaction, all that bullshit in regards to Manchester United and the latest goings on at the football club. Of course, we're going to get into it in this video. Yeah, we've got some stuff to cover, guys. Obviously, a really bad result yesterday against Sevilla at home. Finished 2-2. We just sort of absolutely bottled it, imploded, didn't we? We're going to get into all of it in a moment and all the latest breaking news and goings on at the club. So hang on to your seats, baby. This one's going to be a screamer. Do us a favour at the start of this show, though. Hit the like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up on this stream. Twat the likes. It's free and it helps boost us up there, and share it around as well if you're that way inclined. Get yourself sharing it somewhere. And also hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and get yourself involved. I'm just going to say hello to everybody in the live chat. Sean, Vooty, Andy, what's going on? Jonathan Gallagher, Scott, Gabe, Kerfuffles, Sean Nettleton, Jonathan Gallagher, Jonathan Borg, Dean M, Mbappe, James, Rajak, Kieran, Big Bear, Eddie. What's going on, lad? G Wolf, Hoopman, FCG, Nas, Max, United, Mbappe, Cadster, and everybody else as well. Thank you for joining the stream tonight, guys. Plenty to get into tonight. Not all of it good news. In fact, most of it absolutely fucking abominable, gashtastic news. To be fair with you guys, proper piss poor for the United season. Really, really annoying stuff to cover tonight. Let's get into the main one, really. We've had an update. You can see it yourselves on manunited.com about 15 minutes ago, and various other sources reporting it earlier, but let's just see what Man United have got to say for themselves. So, United have issued a Martinez and Varane update. This is what it says on manunited.com. It says, Lisandro Martinez has been ruled out for the remainder of the season after fracturing a metatarsal bone in his foot. Oh, for fuck's sake. We are seriously in trouble here, guys, aren't we? With Lisandro out for the rest of the season. Man, let's get some hashtag get well soons in the live chat there for Lisandro Martinez. I am so gutted about this. I'm sure a lot of you are as well, because he's just such a beast for us. He's such a battler. He's got such personality within the side. And he's just a great player. He's a great defender. You know, he's really sort of helped change Man United's fortune since he's come in. He's Ten Hag's golden boy, or one of them. And his relationship, his partnership that he'd established with Raphael Varane, probably the best we've seen since Rio and Vida. So, you know, it's very much a big, big loss for us for the remainder of the season not to have Lisandro Martinez, the butcher, in the side. I'm absolutely gutted with that piece of information. So, you know, we know that Martinez is going to be out for the rest of the season, guys. Here is what David Ornstein said as well on social media. Lisandro Martinez is set to miss the rest of the season with a foot injury suffered in Man United's draw versus Sevilla. Raphael Varane foot injury still being assessed. Concerns he may also miss the remainder of the campaign, although Man United hope that isn't the case. We do have an update from manunited.com as well on Varane, so let's just talk about that. Obviously, he was subbed off at half-time. We were talking about it, weren't we? Why the hell, in all that is good and holy, would Slabby Maguire be coming on at half-time in that game, unless Varane was injured, which it turns out he is. And we do have an update from United in regards to Raphael Varane. Apparently, he's expected to be out for a few weeks. This is what it says on manunited.com. So it just says, Raphael Varane, who was also substituted with an injury at halftime in the same game, is expected to be out for a few weeks. Which is a long time, guys. It's a long time when we've got fixtures coming thick and fast, and we're looking like, you know, we haven't got the depth. Very frustrating to have such a double blow for us right there. You know, it's one thing to lose somebody like Varane. It's another thing to lose somebody like Martinez. But it's another thing entirely to lose both of them. You know, so now we've gone from having a really good, solid centre-back partnership at the back to having complete guff bags having to come in there and play for us now. People like the Humanista Melt, slabbing to Maguire, or Victor IKEA flat-pack furniture man himself, Gwindeloff. You know, these guys are expected to come back in, or even something else, even something like maybe Scott McTominay going in there at centre-back, or Casemiro having to drop deeper and play at centre-back maybe, which is not that bad, but it does mean that we're going to miss out on Casemiro in that CDM role. It's a nightmare, this guy's a fucking nightmare, to be honest, to have to run in the season without those guys, potentially. So we know Martinez is definitely out for the rest of the season. And Raphael Varane, substituted off at half-time, expected to be out for at least a few weeks. Could possibly be out for the remainder of the season himself. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. We know what Varane's like. He is an injury-prone player, and he's the sort of guy that, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time in terms of rehabilitation, getting him back to the race, takes him a little bit of time to get him back involved. So, I'm not expecting us to really have him back anytime soon. So there you go, guys. I mean, that's a big double blow for Manchester United. The Butcher is injured for the rest of the season, and Raphael Varane potentially injured as well for the majority of the remainder of the season. What a nightmare. Here's a bit more information breaking. This was earlier. Lisandro Martinez has a fractured fifth metatarsal in his right foot. It remains to be seen whether it needs to be operated on or whether it would be better for the bone to heal on its own. So either way, it's going to be a significant amount of time that he's out, guys. Hopefully he'll be back for the next season, but certainly the rest of this one, we are going to have to contend with it without Martinez, which is a nightmare, guys. In terms of options at centre-back, this is from Laurie Whitwell earlier. Ten Hag says that Shaw and McTominay could be back for the Forest game, but 2 sessions first to see. So, yes, we do have Luke Shaw who could come back into it. He's done a decent job at centre-back. Is Scott McTominay going to be available to drop back into the centre-back position? We've seen him do it for Scotland. He is quite versatile in that sense. He can play CAM, he can play CM, he can play CDM, he can play CB. He can't play any of them any bloody good, but he can play them. So he's a versatile option. There's Casemiro, there's Lindelof, there's Maguire. Guys, let's ask the live chat very quickly. Seeing as we will not have Raphael Varane or Lisandro Martinez in the team lineup for the coming weeks at least, or the rest of the season even, who would be your centre-back pairing going forward for the remainder of the campaign? Bear in mind, we're trying to get top 4. We're trying to win FA Cup. We're trying to win the Europa League. Bear in mind these things. Who is going to be your centre-back pairing? Me personally, any of the combinations we put there's just not good enough, really. Just not good enough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who do we go with? We've got Harry Maguire, who's a complete own goal merchant, complete bloody Jonah at the back. You've got, somebody like Lindelof, who's just a crumble merchant himself. Luke Shaw's impressed me when he's played at centre-back a handful of times. Do you drop Casemiro or McTominay back deeper? Probably not. That's a bit extreme. I think what we have to do is kind of play Malacia on the left, Luke Shaw left side of centre-back, and then it's about choosing the other centre-back. Like, is it going to be Maguire? Is it going to be Lindelof? I guess one of those two alongside Luke Shaw makes the most sense. But what a ropey sounding backline that is, guys. What a ropey sounding backline. Let's have a look at your guys' comments in the live chat here. Shaw and Lindelof, says Solskjaer. Yeah, Shaw and Lindelof, says Eddie's Football Waffle. Lindelof and Shaw, says Mark. Weghorst and McTominay, says Corrupted. Weghorst and Shaw, says Thugger. Interesting shout. Shaw and Lindelof, says Tonknash. Lindelof and Casemiro. Yeah, Casemiro could drop deeper there. We've seen it in one game this season, and he looked good there. He could do that, but then we're going to miss out something in the midfield. Lindelof and Maguire, says Tactics Gaming. Oh no, Tactics Gaming! I can't believe you went and said it! We can't be having those two melters playing together again for us, mate. That's proven gas-tastic, mediocrity and melt-bag-worthy football from those two when they play together. We do not want to see that. But that might be the realistic possibility, though. That might be a realistic probability from Ten Hag to have to put those guys in there. We could get Phil Jones back in the mix, says Brad. Mate, kill me now. Kill me now, Brad Wilk, if we're going to put bloody Phil Jones, No Bones Jones in the back line there, my son. I would literally rather accommodate Scott McTominay or Casemiro at centre-back than go for Phil No Bones, a.k.a. the Gurner, Jones. I would definitely rather not do that, mate. Shaw at left centre-back and Lindelof as MP's night game. And I mean, okay, that's a possibility. It still sounds shite, but it's a possibility. Jones and Maguire, says John Blakeman. Now you're asking for real trouble, aren't you? Varane and Maguire, says Rajat V. Rajat, if you're just getting in here, Varane's out injured for weeks also. So we know he won't be with us probably for the best part of a month, maybe even longer. Lindelof and Shaw, says United Forever. Slabby and Shaw, says G-Wolf United. Right, okay, guys. So there's a lot of... Thank you for getting your comments in here, guys. I mean, yeah, look, there's a bunch of combinations, as I've just said. We could play Casemiro back there. There's Luke Shaw and Maguire. Luke Shaw and Lindelof. Lindelof and Maguire. Casemiro McTominay. Weghorst and Shaw. You know, there's a lot of different combinations that we could put out there, none of which are all that good, and they're all damn average and mediocre. We've seen Manchester United really struggle with backlines consistent of these melts in the past. It's only really Martinez and Varane that have looked solid and done the business for us when playing together. Everybody else is a liability. So it's just such a shame that we don't have the depth in this team. It's all down to the Glazeronomics and their gashness and not going to strengthen us properly and, you know, still having lingerers and hangers on like Phil No Bones Jones and these guys around the gaff. Bailly's out on loan, There's just complete errors really been made from judgment from the owners and the upper management at this club for a long time. We should have more depth in quality and stuff like that. We don't have it. So it's just like the midfielders all of a sudden got good. Finally, we've got players back to fitness. Eriksen's back. Cassie's back after being suspended. Now we've got Sabitzer who's looking wicked. McTominay and Fred are nothing but really a footnote compared to the midfield choices we've got now, but they're still there in midfield with options. So our midfield, we've got decent options in midfield, but only just after they've all come back to fitness. And now, as soon as that happens, literally as soon as that happens, Marcus Rashford is injured, our 27 goal a season man. Our defenders are now injured, a duo of them, both of them out at the same time. I mean, we just cannot catch a freaking break. So now we've got a little bit of doubts as to whether or not we're going to be able to have the successful season that we wanted, just simply because we don't have the quality at the back there. And I'm sorry, but most good teams are based on a really great defence, and we don't really have a great defence at the moment with those guys injured. So very, very concerning, guys. I am not looking forward to the next couple of games. Luckily, we've got Forest coming up. Should be an easy game. We should be able to do them. But some of the bigger high-profile games, such as Sevilla on Thursday, away from home in the Europa League after succumbing to them at the end of the game and giving away a 2-0 lead to make it 2-2, and now having to go back to their own backyard. That sort of game really concerns me right now, having no proper centre-backs. And if you say Lindelof and Maguire are proper centre-backs, then that's okay. They might be actually centre-backs, but they're not proper centre-backs, are they? They're gash. So, that's probably what we're going to go into that game with. We may see Luke Shaw come back in that position, but he's just been out injured. He's coming back to fitness. We are in trouble, guys. Man United are in trouble for the remainder of the campaign. I don't think we need to panic too much, because Ten Hag can still utilise the squad and we can still get other players to come in and play at the centre-back position for us, but it's just nowhere near going to be as solid as having Varane and Martinez to establish that connection together. That's the reality. So, very disappointing, guys. Very, very gutted to hear of the full extent of Martinez's injury. It's a very, very long injury, a metatarsus, it's a severe injury, it's serious, and he will be out of the side for a significant amount of time here, guys. That's it. That's it, guys. Let's get some love hearts in there and some hashtag get well soons immediately. You could see on his face in the game when he was taken off. He was, he's tearing up, mate. He had his head in his hands. That's not the reaction of somebody who's so bloody hard as the Butcher, unless he knows something seriously wrong and he knows he won't be playing football for a long time. So let's wish him well. Good luck, Martinez. I really hope he's back ASAP, but let's not rush him back either. We need to have the Butcher back, ready to slice up and carve up that meat to a good degree. That sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? But you know what I mean. He's a butcher. So we need to just wait and see what happens with regards to them coming back. Varane, hopefully, judging by the statement on manunited.com earlier, will only be out for a few weeks, which means that we may well have him coming back into the side well before the end of the season, which would be good for the final run-in, things like the FA Cup final if we can get there, Europa League last stage and some things like this. Very important to have our seasoned winners and players with that Champions League pedigree, such as Varane, into these European nights that we're going to be playing in, hopefully. That's if we get past Sevilla, guys. I still think we get the job done against Sevilla. I think we're a better team, but look, you can't really deny that we completely imploded in that game, and we just didn't go for it properly in the second half. Ten Hag made big mistakes. He's had a cracking season so far, but he made big, serious mistakes in that game, and the fact we finished the game with 10 men, and that contributed to them getting that equaliser. And just some of the decisions he made throughout his substitutions and things like that were not very good in the end. Easy to say after the fact, but it's true. He didn't do well in that second half in terms of management. He's had a great season, though. Let's hope he can navigate past Sevilla in their own backyard, but it's not going to be easy now without those guys. Scott says Mags and Lindy will secure top four as we have a nice gap ahead of the rest. Yes, so I've got a little poll on the go here, guys. Thank you everyone who's in here, by the way. Make sure you hit the like button. We've got 150 legends in here, 74 likes. That's less than half of the amount of people who are watching right now. You what? Smash the thumbs up button on it, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. Drop a little thumbs up. You know it makes sense. And also hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Get yourself subscribing to the show and have your say in the live chat. And click the bell icon for notifications as well. But let's get to 100 likes on the stream. Just a little stream tonight to give you the updates and the latest Manchester United news. We've got some takeover news shortly as well. But I will just cover the rest of the goings on at the club. So Ten Hag had a little bit of a presser today, his Forest v United press conference, which we'll get into a bit more tomorrow for the preview. But he did talk about Martinez and Varane in this, and this is what he had to say on the matter. He was asked about, the extent of the injury. This was earlier on today, though. Since then, obviously, it's come out and it's been posted on Man United's website and various different places on Twitter that he has done his metatarsal and therefore he'll be out for the rest of the season. But Erik ten Hag just said, in regards to Martinez and Varane earlier, he said, no, sorry, I don't know any more information. It's not even been 24 hours since the Sevilla match, so I don't have a complete diagnosis. So I can't tell the severity of the injuries at the moment. But obviously, since then, it's pretty damn severe. Matthew Smith, thank you for the super chat, mate. He says, Ethan Laird back or Bailly Ahmad as backup? All these players are out on loan, so it depends on the stipulations of the deals. Often, if a team has paid a fee to take your players' services for that season, i.e. Eric Bailly or somebody, often you don't have the option to recall that player. You can recall certain players if you've just basically put them out on loan and there's that recall option in the contract. But I don't really know who's got that option in their contract, to be honest with you, Matthew Smith. Who's got that option and who doesn't. Sometimes when there's fees involved, you can't recall a player off of loan. But that's an interesting idea, Eric Bailly. Yeah, these guys, interesting idea. Thank you for your super chat there, my son. Ten Hag said, when we have news, we will give it to you straight, but let's do the medical, do their assessments and full diagnosis, complete diagnosis, then we give you the news. But it doesn't change in the moment. In regards to Harry Maguire and other players, there was obviously options to replace Martinez and Varane. Erik ten Hag said this. He said, are there any players available that were missing for Sunday? Yeah, there could be, but we have to see. We have now 2 sessions to go to training, so I don't know by now. But it can be that Scott and Luke return in the squad, but we are not sure. So still, Luke Shaw may well not be available and fit to play against Forest on Sunday. And in light of fresh injuries, he was trying to basically highlight the impressive performances of other players. He said, we do have depth in our squad, which we might have depth, but I don't think it's very good quality depth. He said, we have to use our squad. That's also what we did yesterday. In the meantime, you have to win games. So also you have to have a tactical approach to win games, which we didn't do yesterday. But I think we have good players. And when we have problems, injuries and suspensions, we have depth in this squad. He said against Sevilla, Aaron Wan-Bissaka played very well, Anthony played very well, Sabitzer played really well, Bruno played very good, and Anthony Martial as well, which are all true. Those guys did play well against Sevilla, and they've been doing well lately. Could Aaron Wan-Bissaka play centre-back, guys? What do you think? I know we're just talking about other stuff here, but we've got Dallo. This is maybe a bit of a crazy topic, but I just thought about it just now, and we have mentioned it previously. Do you think he could? Yes or no? If you look at his defensive statistics this season for Manchester United, they're ridiculously impressive. He is an absolutely boss centre-back in terms of one-on-one tackling, winning the ball. He's not. I don't think he's going to have the positional sense, though, to just come in and do a good job at centre-back overnight. Surely it would have to be a slow progression, like an adaptation period in order for him to do that. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's got a lot of what you need to be a centre-back. He's great in the tackle. He's quick. He's strong. He's got good defensive brain on him in terms of like just reading movement of players and getting back and getting those last-ditch challenges in. All that sort of stuff. I feel like he could be a decent centre-back in the future. We've not tried it there. Nobody's seen it. But I don't think he would be terrible. That's all I'm saying. Lots of people saying no. Few people saying yes. So, I'm just saying there's an option there, isn't there? There's an option there. So, anyway, he's just said that he's praising a lot of other players there, and rightfully so. Those players did do well. But we've got big problems at the centre-back anyway. So, yeah, big problems for Ten Hag to try and contend with. I'm not worried about Nottingham Forest. Should be a piss-easy game, guys, and we should smash them up. With the forwards we've got in decent form. Martial put in a good performance last game. We've still got players like Sancho looking to prove a point. Anthony's been looking good lately. Bruno Fernandes has been doing brilliantly. Sabitzer with his couple of goals. These guys will be absolutely chomping up Nottingham Forest. I'm sure about it. With Casemiro in this side as well. I don't think we'll lose that game. But we are going to have to look at the other games, the next one against Sevilla and some of the other games, and just be a bit worried with the possible lineup at the back. That's my only concern. It's just the defence is going to cost us. It's going to cost us. I mean, look at what happened yesterday when you put fucking Slabbington Maguire in there, guys. People think I just hate on Maguire for no reason at all, just because he's got a big bobbly head. That's not the case at all. The reason I don't like him is because any time he plays for Manchester United, he fucking sharts the bed, mate. You know what I mean? Who needs that level of player who's just constantly making errors? In all fairness, look, wasn't even really hugely much he could do about that because he's got a reaction time of an OAP, this man. So, he couldn't really do too much about that goal. But it's just like, that's it. You put Maguire in. It changes the whole team dynamic. We have to play in a different way. He's slow and cumbersome and a complete melter. And he scores an OG 50% of the time. It's an absolute nightmare. And he gets paid 180 grand a week. He's an economic Maguire. Like the Ghanaian parliament said. He's a liability, guys. He's a meme. And that's why I don't like him in the side, because he's an absolute meme. So any which way we can go about not having Maguire on the side, I think is a better centre-back pairing. So if it's Luke Shaw and Lindelof, or if it's Casemiro and Luke Shaw, or if it's McTominay and Luke Shaw, or if it's, Phil Jones even. I just think that Maguire just sets the tone for a bad performance almost every time he's on the pitch for Manchester United. Not all the time. Sometimes he does okay. That's fine. But a lot of the time he causes us problems. So there you go. That's my big problem with Harry Maguire. He's just not good enough for Manchester United. Never has been. Reaction time of a corpse, says VK Dean. Absolutely damn right. Neil, what's going on, says, to be honest, Piggy, the slabhead own goal was funny one. Poor lad. Look, he's just standing there. He can't really do all that much. Well, can he? Do something, Harry Maguire. Do something, pal. But yeah, that one wasn't the worst own goal we've ever seen him score, because he didn't know too much about it in the heat of the moment, right? But anyway, he's not good enough for United. He changes the dynamic of the team. He changes the way that we play, and therefore he shouldn't be near the starting 11, even if we've got both of our top centre-backs out of the team. I really don't like him. I just don't think he changes the way we play with his slowness. Right, okay, so I'm very annoyed about this, guys. Let's get into the live chat for a few minutes before we get onto the takeover business and the more information that's coming out as well in regards to updates and things like that. We will keep you up to date with all what's going on right now, of course we will. But I'll just dip into the live chat for a few minutes and see what you legends are saying. So let's have your say. Now's the time. Let me just get the chat up on the screen. Mount says, Maguire is the most protected player in the history of the game. English media love him. Why do the English media love him, bro? I'm absolutely just as lost for words as you are in regards to that. Okay, for England, he's actually been good. You know why? You know why he's good for England? Because we've got Gareth fucking Paperbaghead himself, Southgate, in charge of England, who's an absolute melter and doesn't take any real risks or chances at all and just has us playing bullshit, safe, gas-tastic football, mate. And he's just a perfect combo for Southgate, because they're both fucking melters, mate. There you go. But in all fairness, he has been good for England, but he's not the right fit for United. That happens a lot. You get lots of players who are great for Manchester United. They're not great for England. You get lots of players who are great for England. They're not great for Manchester United. That happens all the time. I can name you 10 players right now who had majestic club careers, but never did it for their nation. Or pretty damn decent national careers, but never really hit the heights at club level. It's something weird to that. I don't know what it is, but there's something to that. Maguire is good for England, but he's shit for Manchester United, mate. And therefore, I don't want nothing to do with the guy beyond this summer. Guys, let's just ask the live chat here in all reality. Keep or sell Maguire in the summer? Keep or sell Maguire in the summer? I'm not talking about prices. Just keep or sell. Simple as that. I bet you there's about 2 people in here that say keep, and they're Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? Nobody in their right mind thinks he's good enough to play for this club anymore. Maybe when we first sign him. Yes, when we first sign him on the back of a good season, but not now. He's proven himself to be too much of a Jonah and too much of a bloody liability. And a calamity at the back for us. Sell, keep, says Keep It Real. You're not keeping it very real there, are you, bud? Give away, says Chris Koo. Give him away for free, says OHB. Keep, says LFC. You're a Liverpool fan, exactly. Sell, keep, says Jams Highlights. He's a Chelsea scummer, precisely. So any rivals, this is what I'm saying, this is how meme-worthy it's got. Any rivals want us to keep him, and most United fans think he's not really good enough, is he? Rush Munner says keep as a boot cleaner. I reckon even Phil Jones does a better job of cleaning boots than Slabby Maguire, you know. Gotta be honest, I think even as a boot cleaner he'd leave a lot to be desired, mate. He'd say, here Harry, here's everybody's kits after training, here's everybody's boots after training, lad. Can you please get all the mud off of them? And you go back the next day and they'd just be caked in mud still. And you go, what the fuck's the problem here, Harry Maguire? And he's like, oh, sorry, I missed a bit, boss. Yeah, you missed half the bloody pitch, lad. You're shocking. That's what we're having to deal with. I don't even think he'd be a good boot cleaner, this twat. He's a letdown. So, you know, I think we just got to get rid, don't we, guys? It's time to get rid. It's time to sell him. Yeah, G-Wolf United, how you doing, lad? He says sell him. It's time to get rid, guys. 2 likes off of 100 likes. Keep hitting the like button. Smash the like. Boost us up there, guys. There's a lot of clickbait wankers, corporation meltbags, and prats out there. If you want to support this channel, a no nonsense, no clickbait channel, make sure you smash that like button. It's free. It boosts us up there. Give us a share on social media and smash the subscribe button. We did it. We've hit 100 likes. Break out the red panties. Get in there. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the like button. We've done it. Nice one. Right, let's read a bunch more of your comments out. Then we're going to talk about the rest of the United news for the day. He's not Nottingham level, is he? No, good point, Raja. Yeah, keep Maguire, says a waste. Varane and Martinez out were absolutely stuffed. It's a big problem, NJ. So I've got a little poll running in the chat at the moment. Do have a vote. And it simply is, will Manchester United get top 4 or not? Yes or no? I still think we will. You look at our running, and I think we've still got enough in our locker with the midfield and the forward players and stuff we've got in good form to be able to get the job done and get top 4. But we're asking for a problem now that we've got not great depth behind Varane and Martinez. Yeah, exactly, Jamson says, I was only pulling your leg pig. I was just scared we'll try and get him with Bowley. You're scared you'll try and get him up with Bowley, yeah. I mean, I don't even think he's mental enough to do that, bud, even though he clearly knows F all about football, lad. You know, I don't think even he's mental enough to do that. I think he's going to a lower Premier League side, maybe mid-table guff in the summer. Leicester, there you go, A7K. Leicester robbed us for 8 mil, but somebody like Leicester, Everton, you know, one of these gash teams I could see Harry Maguire go and do a good job for, but certainly not for Man United. It's going to be close as mouse. Yeah. Okay, I'll ask the chat there, guys. Top 4, do we get top 4, yes or no? For me, I think we do get top 4 because, you know, it is in our hands at the end of the day. If you actually have a look at the league table. So league table wise, Manchester United are sitting reasonably comfortably in 4th place. We've got a game in hand on Spurs. We've got Villa and Spurs behind us. Realistically, the only team that can really catch us is Spurs. And we all know about Spurs. Spurs are even bigger bottle jobs than Harry Maguire. In fact, the perfect match for Tottenham and for Maguire in the summer would be for him to go to Spurs, mate. You know, he would be the perfect signing for Spurs. The Melt Club announces the meltiest melter signing in Maguire. Now that is a melt made in heaven. You know what I mean, guys? That is a melt match made in heaven, those two. That's what should happen. We should try and buy Kane off of Spurs in the summer and try and include Slabby Maguire in the deal. It's an absolute melt match made in heaven for those two. But currently, Tottenham are 3 points behind Manchester United. We've got a game in hand on them. There's only 8 games left for Spurs. There's 9 games left for us. We've got this one of Nottingham Forest of the weekend, which we should trounce them, to be fair. They're in the relegation zone end of the day. No games are easy, but you know, we are in a position where we just need to win the majority of these games. We can afford 1 or 2 slip-ups, and you just know that Spurs will slip up multiple times. You know, Spurs are not going to have a faultless run between now and the end of the season. No chance. They will melt. And so, therefore, I don't think we've got much to worry about in terms of the top 4. We will stutter over the line, but that's what it will be. I don't see us finishing above Newcastle United any longer. You lose a couple of key players like Martinez and Varane, and that's the effect that can have. You can certainly be left lacking and wanting in certain areas, and we will probably just concede more goals and have a less solid base to build off of, and therefore maybe score less goals for the remainder of the campaign. Not to a huge degree, but certainly enough to, you know, stop us from, I don't think, finishing 3rd. So I think we'll get 4th place, but I do not see us dropping out the top 4. I don't see Spurs catching us up. They're proper bottle merchants. But again, I don't see us taking over Newcastle. Let's ask the chat though, guys. Where do you see us finish? 3rd or 4th or 5th? Where do you see us finish in the live chat, guys? Let's see what you guys are saying. But I'm going for 4th place this season now. So frustrating, guys. What a frustration. 4th, says Scott and Neil Prajapati. John Boy says 4th. Dublin thinks we're still going to get 3rd. Corrupted says 4th. WrestleKurt thinks 5th. Chris Koo says 4th or 5th. Madhouse says 4th. Neil says 4th. Rushy says 4th. Just. The Cake Cadet says 3rd. Let's have... Cake Cadet, how you doing, lad? Let's have a look at Manchester United's fixtures here, right, guys, for the remainder of the campaign, just to familiarise ourselves with what we've got to do. So, you know, we've got Sevilla in the Europa League after Nottingham Forest. That's nothing to do with the league. We've got Man United versus Tottenham is on Thursday, the 27th of April, away. That's going to be a tough one, to be fair. You know, that's definitely going to have a say. But, like I say, we usually do get the better of Tottenham. They're kind of our whipping boys. They're absolute cocks, aren't they? And then Man United versus Aston Villa. That's a tough game, to be fair. They're in 6th place right now. Unai Emery's got them flying. We are at home, but at the end of April, that's a tough game, no doubt. Then we got Brighton away from home. That's also a very, very tough game, to be fair, having to go away to Brighton at any time, really. So we got them away in the FA Cup semis, but we got them again away in the league on the 4th of May. West Ham United away. Moisey's Melters. I mean, you know, crikey. I mean, stranger things have happened than West Ham getting a job done at their home ground, especially if we've got gash defenders. After that, we've got a bit of an easy run with Wolves, Bournemouth, and Fulham. But I tell you what, that running is not the easiest running, in all fairness. It's really not the easiest running for Man United right now. If we look at Tottenham's fixtures as well, let's just have a little look at them. They've got some big games coming up as well, though, which makes me think they'll probably melt. But they've got Bournemouth tomorrow, then they've got Newcastle away. That's a very tough game for them. Then they've got United. That's a very tough game for them. Then they've got Liverpool away. That's a very tough game for them. Then they've got Palace. Then they've got Aston Villa away, which is a very tough game for them. Brentford, who are no mugs, and Leeds. So if anything, I think Tottenham do actually have the harder run-in than us. You know, we've got a hard run-in. It's not easy at all. That's a 6-point game. If Tottenham beat us, it's all blown open and it's a calamity. But as long as we get past them there, even a draw in that game and don't melt too much anywhere else, we should be absolutely fine. But yeah, both have got reasonably tough run-ins. Spurs are going to drop a few points in that. They'll drop a whole bunch of points because they're proper bottle merchants, guys. So I think we'll get 4th place, no problems. James Dunn, thank you for your super chat here, Mr. Dunn, lad. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, mate. He says, I'd play Cassie and Shaw at centre-back. Great shout. Smash a 1 if you'd be okay with seeing Cassie drop back to centre-back. We did see it in one game. Can't remember the game now. Some bright spark will remember. One game this season, Ten Hag did that in, and he looked absolutely fine and comfortable there. You know, Ten Hag's done that quite a bit this season. Put round pegs in square holes, or the other way round. Square pegs in round holes. You know what I mean? He's done that quite a few times, and it's worked out for him. So I'm pretty sure he could do a job for us there. But in doing so, it means that the midfield is going to lose something. It's going to lose that solidity that Casemiro gives us in the centre of the park. It's going to give us, you know, he gives us that solid base. He plays out from the back really well. He's a good distributor, passer. You know, who else are we going to play there? We're going to have to go then to start playing people like McTominay or Fred, Sabitzer. I mean, we have got Eriksen coming back as well. Bruno's been playing a bit deeper recently. But, you know, we do miss something by not having Casemiro in the midfield. He's done it before. He's done it before for us, though. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Well, must play. I mean, some people suggest that he could. I personally think that he could play there. I think Casemiro could play at centre-back because he's such an intelligent footballer. He's a great defensive-minded player, good tackler, good reader, good positioning, all that sort of stuff. It's not his forte. Of course it's not. He's not a centre-back. But he could play there. To say he couldn't play there, I think is a mistake. I think he could play there. But it doesn't really make that much sense to stop the midfield from having him in there. You know, we have to have a different centre-back combo, I think. Honestly, I'd probably go for Luke Shaw and Lindelof at this stage. You know, Lindelof's a good passer of the ball. He's not the best in the air. That would be my only concern with having Luke Shaw and Lindelof together, is that I don't think it gives you that strength and size and, you know, huge aerial qualities that you need sometimes, especially coming up against, you know, some of the lesser teams who are going to try and pepper you and high balls in and crosses and things like that. Like, you've got to be honest and say that doesn't sound the most aerially robust, having Luke Shaw and Lindelof in there. But in all other aspects, it's fine. When it's down on the ground, when it's, you know, they're passing, their coolness, they're pretty good. But aerially is where we're going to be left lacking. Certainly, Maguire is not bad at that, but he also bangs it in his own net quite a lot of time as well. Yeah, Rushmano says Casemiro regularly drops into the back line most games. There you go, exactly. So he could probably do a job, couldn't he? Rather have Weghorst at centre-back, says Madhouse. Maybe that's his position, eh? Maybe we finally found his position. He's no good at bloody scoring goals. How about trying to stop him? You know, he puts in a shift, he runs around, he gets himself stuck in, he's combative. Maybe that would actually be a decent position for him, wouldn't it? Yeah. Rashad says Luke Shaw is not good in the air much. He's okay in the air, but he's only like 5'11" or something, or whatever he is. He's not the biggest, strongest guy out there. That's really what I'm getting at there. But neither is Martinez, yet Martinez is great in the air and great centre-back. So, you know, Luke Shaw's, to be fair to him, what have we seen him? 5 games or something play centre-back for Man United this season? Every single time he's played for us, I've been very impressed with him at centre-back. So that would be my go-to, is to play him at centre-back, definitely, yeah. Rajat says, when is McTominay returning? Well, he's expected that he could be back for the game against Nottingham Forest, but it's not guaranteed yet. We have an update from Ten Hag earlier on, and he was discussing the potential of those guys coming back in regards to McTominay and also Luke Shaw. This is what he had to say. He said, we have depth in our squad. We have to use the squad. But he said, in regards to those guys, he said, we have now 2 sessions to go of training, so I don't know by now, but it can be that Scott and Luke return in the squad, but we are not sure. That's to quote Ten Hag. That's what he said. So that doesn't mean that they're going to be back fit to play in the game. He's just saying that they may well be back fit in the squad. So I don't know if they'll be in that Nottingham Forest game. Probably not. Probably not. But we don't need Scott McTominay anyway. That would be horrendous to have Scott McTominay in the side again. Look, to be fair, the midfield's cooking at the moment. I wouldn't change too much for that midfield. I think Casemiro alongside Bruno with Sabi in front is an absolute great trio at the moment. Smash a 1 if you agree with me that we shouldn't really be changing that too much. I mean, yes, okay, Nottingham Forest, this game we might have to rotate, especially for the Europa League on Thursday. But in general, I think that's our strongest look at the moment. Eriksen's obviously a beast as well, but he's only just coming back to fitness. But yeah, lots of 1s coming in the live chat. Bruno playing deeper is a bit of a genius move by Ten Hag. He's actually had some really, really good games. Savitzer's been further up there, which we've just unleashed Savitzer as an attacking force. He's got 2 in the last game. He's been very impressive in a higher up role in the last couple of games. And Bruno equally is impressive in a deeper role. Playing creator, playing deep line playmaker, playing, passer from deep, quarterback, whatever you want to call it. He's actually done really good things for us. So I would go with that again still. Why change it if it's not broken? That seems like a good midfield trio to me. And then obviously we've got to see who else is fit and available. Eriksen coming back in is a huge player though. We're going to need to use all of these guys. That's the reality. We're going to have to use all of them. We might not see the strongest lineup for the Nottingham Forest game because we've got that game on Thursday against Sevilla, which is going to be now a very tough game, guys. Guys, do you think Manchester United get past Sevilla in their own backyard on Thursday night? Yes or no? I say yes. Come on, United! But we couldn't even do it in our backyard at Old Trafford, which has been a fortress, and we've been gashed on the road. But if we turn up and play with the best of our abilities and the defenders, whoever's playing in that game, have a good game and we, create well, which we can do with the talents we've got on the pitch, we should score goals and we should be able to beat them. But it's very difficult. It's a very difficult game now. It should have been an easy fixture. It should have been 2-0 being taken back to Spain with us. Instead now it's 2-2. And they're going to be super confident and super buoyed now because they managed to get something out of that game and they were nowhere in that first half. We were battering them for that first 45 minutes. Ten Hag got it wrong second half and anything that could go wrong went wrong. Malassi has made a schoolboy error. Maguire scored one off his face, an OG, and we had scored 2 own goals. So, it was a bit of a freakish way that it all happened. It's not like Sevilla were absolutely amazing and they played us off the park or anything for those last half an hour or whatever. That's not what happened. We know the reason that Sevilla won. They got lucky. They got lucky and we got supremely unlucky and we had bad judgment calls from Ten Hag and a lot of the players. I mean, that Malacia goal, that's a freak goal in itself. Why the fuck would he not clear that one away? And then Jesus Navas has just kicked it towards goal and it's gone off Malacia at the perfect angle. It's just a rebound deflection. It's a deflection off of Malacia. He doesn't know anything about it. Neither does Jesus Navas. De Gea's got no time to react. Freak goal in itself, that one. Very unlikely to happen. And then you look at the other goal, that Maguire one. How unlikely is that Maguire one to happen for it to hit his slab just at the perfect angle on one of the corners of the fucking cuboid and just perfectly ping into the top bins? Freakish goal in itself again. And that only really happened because they were having us under complete pressure because we had 10 men on the pitch because Martinez went off injured, which Ten Hag didn't account for the fact that maybe we could get another injury. He chucked all of his substitutions on. Then we were without subs. We couldn't get an 11th man on the pitch. That's why it happened. That's the only reason. Not because Sevilla outplayed us or outclassed us for the last half an hour. They got supremely lucky, bad judgment calls from Ten Hag, and we got supremely unlucky. That's the only reason they got anything from that game. So in terms of who's a better team, of course Manchester United are a better team. They are 13th in La Liga. They're having a shitter. Man United, in the top 4 in the Premier League, a much more competitive, tough league. We don't have the defence now, but the rest of the team's still there ready to go. So come on, United. We are going to smash them up in their own backyard, but it's a very difficult game now. It's not an easy game now. It should have been an easy game, and now it's a tough, tough game. Oh, yeah, Rushy says, can't see us winning if I'm honest at Sevilla. Exactly. It's tough now. Very tough. Sevilla first goal, freaky, lucky, jammy goal ever. Completely agree with you, Scott. Very freakish, very lucky. Must play says our midfield gave up against Sevilla. Not only Maguire, weak-minded midfielders says must play. Keep It Real says, how are we the better team? Because I just mentioned we're in the top 4 in the Premier League. They're 13th in La Liga. The only reason they got anything from the game against us was because of freakish series of events. We were battering them in that first half, and they were crap. Though I know we're the better team. We're definitely the better team. If Anthony's shot goes in, it's 3-0. If he doesn't hit the inside of the upright and it bounces away. Think about the fine margins of that particular moment in the game. If that goal goes in, which it doesn't obviously, you can't talk about ifs, ands and buts. But, you know, if it does go in, that's it. Tie over right there and then. The remainder of what happened in the game doesn't happen. So, you know, let's not pretend like Sevilla are a good team. They're shite. They're absolutely guff. Worst Sevilla side I've seen for years, man. And they're always a good team. Not this season. They're crap. They were crap. They were so freakishly lucky in that second half to get anything from the game. So I think we'll still beat them at their place. But now it's tricky. It's in their stadium. It's tricky. Yeah, LOL says should have been 3-0. Game, set and match. Completely agree. Attack and outscore them, says Scott05. Spot on, agreed. And we can do that with the attacking talents we got in our team 100%. Thank you, Vutinator. Right, guys, I'm going to get on to the next topic of discussion very quickly, though. Do us a favour and smash that like button if you're just joining the stream here. Let's see if we can get 169 likes on this stream. And always, as always, hit the subscribe button and get your opinions in and have your say. You do need to be subscribed to chat, but you only need to be subscribed for 0 seconds. So if you are new to the channel and you want to have your say and you're wondering why you can't type, it's because we've got subscriber mode on and you need to subscribe for 0 seconds and then you can chat. So get yourself subscribed to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss streams, and we will be seeing you. Okay, so the next order of the day then, guys, is a big update, or quite a big update, in regards to the Glazers' shithouse wank pieces potentially selling the football club. This is from Sky Sports News. It says, breaking, Sheikh Jassim bin Ahmad Al Thani of Qatar will make a final offer for Man United before the deadline for third bids on Friday the 28th of April. Fuck the Glazers, guys. Get these wankers out of our football club immediately. I'm sick of these tossers, mate. A third round of bidding. We were talking about this a little while ago. There's a new third round of bidding. Another deadline has been set for Friday the 28th of April. 2 weeks from now. What a shambles, mate. They're absolutely taking the piss now. Get out of our football club, you greedy toss pieces. You know, it's a disgusting situation. Look, Zilikius, or whatever his name is, Ziliakis, has now basically come out and said, you know, obviously he was a bullshitter anyway. He wasn't really going to buy the bloody football club anyway. But he said, Jim Ratcliffe, Sheikh Jassim and myself were all ready to negotiate a deal to buy United. Instead, Glazers chose to start a new round. I will not participate in a farce set to maximise the profit for the sellers at the expense of Manchester United. You know, which is basically summarises it really well, because that's what they're doing. They know that people want to buy the club. They're having a third round of bidding now. They probably might even have a fourth round of bidding. Who knows? Let's just try and push up the price as much as we bloody can. You know, that's what they're doing here. It's just blatant profiteering. They've got a fair price for the football club. There's fair offers on the table. I know this is how negotiations work. They start high, you go in low, and then you meet somewhere in the middle. But this is taking the piss. Like, we've got to get these guys out before the end of the season so we can start to plan for next season. The new owners can come in and spend money and get the wheels in motion for all different areas of the team to buy new players and to fulfill different, you know, plans for the stadiums and facilities and all this sort of stuff. You know, so very frustrating that we're even talking about this again, that there's going to be a third round of bidding. Just get the hell out of this club. Let's get a hashtag Glazers out in the live chat, please, everybody. Let's continue to scream loudly and proudly, Glazers out. And in all fairness, I think they are going in the summer, guys. They are going, but they're taking their good time about it to get as much money as they can get. If they can get an extra 50 million or an extra 100 million or an extra 200 million, they'll wait out and camp out all summer long. They'll get the tent out, mate, and put it outside. No, they won't put it outside Old Trafford. They'll put it in their fucking Florida garden or whatever, mate. Well, you know what? If they're not careful, they're going to get a fucking army of alligators coming in from the Everglades, mate, wearing United shirts, who are going to be chomping at their fucking heels in their own backyard if they're not careful, honestly. Because you can't take this fan base for mugs any longer. And I'm sorry, if they're still here by the end of the season, that'll probably happen. That'll probably happen. Well, I'm going to charter a fucking plane and fill it up with United supporters, mate. We're going to go to Florida, man. Give them a piece of our minds, mate. You know what I'm saying? It's an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles, though, these guys, that what they're trying to do. So, you know, lots of reports coming out. That's the case. Look at this as well. I mean, this is from my man, transfers_UTD on Twitter, a.k.a. Rushmano. Reports that Joel Glazer is refusing to sanction further talks with player agents until the sale is completed. Ten Hag is furious and hugely frustrated. So it's a joke, mate. We should be trying to get a head up on the opposition. Trying to have discussions, trying to talk about potential transfers early before we get left behind in the summer and allow these players free to talk to other teams and sign for other teams right at the start of the window. We can't have this. We've got to get them out sooner rather than later so that we can start to plan for next season. That's the reality. Having them stay and go in a few weeks' time or a few months' time or in the summer is delaying our progress for next season already. It's delaying our progress and what we can actually do to try and improve this side. We should be talking to players' agents now. We should be putting the foundations in place to be able to sign certain key players for next summer, for next season. But we can't do that, guys. We can't do that yet because they're not going to sanction huge player signings. They're not going to do that right now when they're trying to sell the football club. Of course they're not. They're trying to just make as much money as they can. They're not going to go and spend 100 million on Bellingham. No, whatever. They'll just leave the path clear for somebody else to go and sign these players. So that's what's really infuriating about it. And apparently Ten Hag is furious and frustrated about the situation in general because it's always common to start thinking about the next season and start planning to buy new players, you know, in order to have a better season next year and to get a head up on the opposition for the start of the campaign. So that's what's really frustrating about these wankers taking all the time in the world to sell the football club, is that it's impacting us for next season now as well. Unless they go very soon, i.e. by the end of this month or within a month's time, or certainly by the end of May, then it's going to be really difficult for us in the summer because we'll be behind trying to play catch up. And that's just bang wrong. Oh. Jamza says that could be your summer transfer window up in smoke. It will probably end up being a deadline day signing of Barry Kane, and that's it, Pigmate. Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I like Harry Kane, so I would be happy with him. And knowing Spurs and those shithouses, that'll probably drag on all bloody summer long anyway. But we should, like you say, we should be going to sign other players early doors. We should be putting in the foundations for the season early doors. And if we don't have new owners who are looking to go forward with a new plan, then we won't sign anybody because the Glazers aren't going to go spend big in the summer if they're not going to be here. So yeah, it's an absolute disgrace. Anthony Ong says Glazers don't care, they just want money. Fuck them. Absolutely, Nad. Rushmana says the only positive, the whole due diligence part of the process is done. So once they decide on final exclusivity, it should move quickly. Let's hope so. I mean, we saw Chelsea was bought, was sold, done and dusted, listed and sold in a matter of weeks. So once Manchester United, you know, once the Glazers have decided, oh yes, we're happy with this 6 billion or whatever it is. I mean, how much money do you think it would take, guys, to get the Glazers to sell? I think £5.5 billion. They're greedy bastards. They want 6 billion, but you don't always get what you want. You know, you can't just bend people over. 5.5 billion. But once they get what they want, yes, it's going to be a quick process, I think. Of course it will be. Because they'll just want to cut, shut and run into the sunset with their bags full of money. Professor says 7 billion? Fuck you, no. Yep, that's because of the government involvement, says Jamza highlights. Well, yeah, true. I mean, that definitely helps when you've got the government saying, hey, listen, Roman Abramovich, get to fuck. You know what I mean? That definitely helps, to be fair. But the whole process, I mean, the bidding process, that takes time, doesn't it? You had different consortiums and different parties going in for that club. And Bowley's won out in the end, obviously. But that process takes a bit of time. You know, we're doing that process now. Once the decision's been made, it should happen very, very quickly. It should happen very, very quickly for Man United to actually, you know, hand over the keys. It should happen pretty quickly. Rajat says take $5.2 billion and leave. Simon Warner says the Glazers are the Scroogers of the Premier League. It's time they open their wallets and give the Moss some air or just get the hell out. Yeah, get the hell out. Steve Buckley says, at this rate, Pig, we'd be buying second-rate forwards. They could not give a toss. All they think is about money and 6 billion. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely agreed. Chocolate Salty Boss says, out of all the people to get long-term injury, of course, it's our best signing. Yeah, absolute nightmare, isn't it? Probably be around 5.5 million, somewhere around that figure, says Rush Marno. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, but once the amount of money's agreed, this is it. The Glazers keep changing the goalposts. They had a first round of bidding, then a second round of bidding. For the life of me, why do we need a third round of bidding? It's all part of the negotiation process, I guess, for them to get the most amount of money that they can. But surely there's not going to be a fourth round of bidding. So we've got a new deadline, reportedly by Sky Sports. They say that it's going to be the end of this month, April 28th, is when there will be a third round of bidding deadline. So we'll see what offers are on the table, what improved offers are on the table then. There might not be any improved offers. It might just be the same offer again. But if there'll be a slight improvement, the Glazers will be happy with that, and they'll have to take it, won't they? I fundamentally think they will sell. And I fundamentally think they will be gone before the end of the season. So that's what I think, guys. Do you agree with me? Smash a 1 if you agree that they will be gone before the end of the season. Smash a 2 if you think they linger on like a bloody floater in the toilet bowl of humanity. Let us know what you think. But me personally, I think they will be gone by the end of the season. I do. Or at least I'm trying to keep the faith that they will be anyway. Good evening, Twalumba Theory. What's going on, bro? Dublin Game says 1. Madhouse says 2. Lots of 2s coming in here. Cake says no. Justin agrees. John Boy agrees. Loads of 2s coming in here. Yeah, most people have got no faith in the Glazers to get the fuck out of our football club, have they? Steve Buckley says yes, and Simon says yes. Glenn says no. Social says no. Chris Crew said no. Oh, you know, we'll find out in due course, guys, I guess. But very frustrating anyway. Yeah, precisely, mate. Hello, Glenn McEnroe. What's going on? You hope they're gone, says Duncan. Me too, me too. Anyway, so, you know, that's basically it, guys. I wanted to jump on and just get into it a little bit with you legends and give you the latest updates on Martinez and Varane. If you're just joining the stream, let me just tell you what's happened. So, Martinez is out. He's going to miss the rest of the season with a foot injury, a metatarsal injury to be specific, that he sustained in that draw versus Sevilla. Varane's got a foot injury as well, and he's going to be out for at least a few weeks. Might even be out for a little bit longer. We'll have to wait and see. ManUnited.com put on a little piece about an hour ago, which just said the extent of Martinez's injury and said that they can confirm that Lisandro Martinez will miss the rest of the season and that Varane is expected to be out for a few weeks. So that's the latest from Man United, and it's very frustrating. And we have reports here that it was a 5th metatarsal in his right foot that snapped, basically. It remains to be seen if it needs to be operated on or if it's better to wait for the bone to heal on its own. So an absolute nightmare. They have to do more assessments and find out. We don't have an exact time of when Lisandro Martinez will be out, but we can confirm he will not be playing for Manchester United the rest of this season. And then we do have other options, of course, at centre-back, but we have to decide what we're going to do there. Ten Hag will have to have a think, and we'll see what's the lineup's like against Nottingham Forest on Sunday. And then, of course, we've got a game against Sevilla on Thursday, which will be very, very difficult. Let's get into the chat for a few minutes, guys. That's the latest news and guff for today. It's very frustrating. Let's get into the live chat and see what you legends got to say for yourselves for a few minutes. Then we're going to wrap up the stream because it's nearly 10 and we're back on at 11 p.m. tonight with a cheeky FIFA stream. So come and join us for that in an hour. But let's see what you legends are saying. So we have to depend on Magaloff, says Twalumba Theory. Basically, maybe. Possibly Luke Shaw coming in centre-back. We'll see. But yeah, Maguire and Lindelof are definitely going to be featuring between now and the end of the season heavily. Simon says, I've seen injuries like that as an ex-nurse. It's not a pretty sight, plus lengthy physio sessions. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to come back, is it? Justin Time says, thankfully we're playing NF on Sunday rather than a top team. Definitely, we should still be able to get the better of Nottingham Forest on Sunday, absolutely. Scott says, it's a tough one now, but hopefully we get a couple of cup finals by the end of the season. Harder to get to those cup finals now, though, obviously, without our best 2 centre-backs. Ryan says it's going to be a nervy few weeks. Yep, you've got Ericsson back in big. We will score more goals. That's true, DC. And Casemiro back. And, you know, we will be okay, even though we've lost Rashford's goals. Martial looked promising the last game. Sabitzer, these guys. So hopefully you're right. It's going to be very nervy, though, Ryan. And LFC King says we have Canate back now. Nobody cares about the Liverpool scum. Rice Burnett, what's going on? Says Piggott won't be done fast after bids. There's owner's test. You may not get summer signings. Says Newcastle fan. Prem will have to take their time because owner's test was changed after us. Yeah, no, it's not going to be a hugely quick process, but I think if they, let's say they make a decision by the end of this month, you know, I'd like to think by the end of May, we'd have them out. So, you know, I don't think they will be gone by the start of the window, in my opinion, or just around about there. Probably be shortly after. Kerfuffles, catch you in a bit, my lad. Thank you for watching. We got 150 likes. Thank you, everyone, for hitting that like button. You're a bunch of legends. I appreciate you. Nice one. Do hit the like button, guys, and smash the subscribe button if you haven't done so. We're on here covering all the latest United news. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe. Nice one. Rushy says, playing so many games and having a poor squad depth, we've done well to have this problem now with key players. Spot on. Very true. Very true. Very true. And it does further highlight the need for us to go in the transfer window in the summer and buy the quality depth players that we need, because we don't have them at the moment. 70.9k subs. Get in there, my son. Let's be having you. Thank you, everyone. We're very close to getting to 71,000 subscribers now, guys. We're less than 100 away, so smash the subscribe button if you're new. We're going to wrap up this video then, guys. Thank you very much to each and every single one of you legends for watching. You can come back after this video is finished with your thoughts and opinions. about anything we've discussed in this video. Of course, you can come back, have your say. That's what it's all about. Getting your thoughts and opinions in. This is a great community of legends. We value every single one of you in here, even if you've got guff opinions. But, that's what they are. Everybody's got their own opinions, and you're entitled to them, right? So come back after this video's finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section after and have your say. Here is the FIFA stream that's taking place in an hour at 11 p.m. I'll see you over there, guys. Please do come and join us for that at 11 o'clock in 1 hour's time back here on this channel. But for now, thank you all for watching. Cheers, guys. Steve, Chris, Chocolate, Anthony, Simon, Ryan, Hoopman, Madhouse, Rushy, all the mods, all the members, and everybody else as well. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch at Flying Pig United, and I'll catch you with the latest news very, very soon. Stay classy, guys. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.